Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GWOT FOB podcast, brought to you by Combat Outpost Robinson, doing great things for our veterans, and I'm your host, Jim Robinson. Today, we have a very special guest for you. He was actually here in the studio a week or so before Christmas and had a wonderful, wonderful time with him, got to spend the weekend with him. He's a very special individual, I would say, and I enjoyed my time with him when he was here. Our special guest is Massoud Hossaini, and I'm going to let you in on a little bit of his bio. Massoud Hossaini is a Pulitzer Prize winning Afghan photojournalist whose powerful images have captured the emotional and human realities of war. And his background and career in his early life, he was born in Kabul during the Soviet-Afghan War. His family fled to Iran after his father was arrested for opposing the communist regime. And his activism and early philosophy is that he became involved in the Iranian reform movement and began documenting the lives of Afghan refugees in Mashhad. And then he returned to Afghanistan after the 9/11 attacks on the U.S. and joined, and I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, ANIA, which is a French cultural organization. And he studied under photographer Photographer Massoud Hossaini. It's like he was an AFP correspondent in Agence France-Presse in 2007, producing globally acclaimed war photography. His notable events is that he survived a 2016 attack on the American University of Afghanistan, during which he issued an SOS message from inside the campus. Dude, it's great to see you again, my friend, and welcome to the show. And why don't you start by giving us a little bit of background on you and, your upbringing in Iran, and kind of your culture and how you ended up getting your hands on a camera.
Yeah,
Which I imagine that was not an easy task at the time.
yeah. First of all, let me say hello to
Yeah.
you and to all of your listeners and audiences, and to whoever I met when I was there. I missed that little beautiful city, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right now, we have a lot of snow right now in
Right.
Pittsburgh, but when I was there before Christmas in your city, it was really amazing to see that great city, that great park that we went all together for the
Oh, yeah. For the
like
light. Yeah.
watching the lights and everything. And yeah, well, as you mentioned, I was born in Afghanistan in 1981 December, which I myself count as I done in 1982. At least I can say 1 year younger
Right.
because it's December, right? And I was born in 10th of December, which is a International Human Rights Day, and I'm
Okay.
really yeah, I have this, honor and proud that I always tried for this. And I started when I was in Iran. Well, I grew up in Iran. I went to school and high school and like everything that I need to learn in my teenage and young let's say period of my life. And I was 19 when I get back to Afghanistan and I joined INA, as you said. And then I kind of like I had a newborn when I get back to Afghanistan.
Okay.
The wish and the dream that I always wanted to have. So, and when I crossed the border from Iran to Afghanistan, I promised myself to work and to sacrifice my life
Mhm.
for several matters, several
Right.
really important life matters for me. One was freedom and democracy. The second was human rights. And the third was especially women rights. And I've
Right.
done all my, 20 years of life and coverage and activism in Afghanistan for these three purposes. Well, when I joined INA, I kind of introduced, and I had a really good opportunity to join a university-like organization,
Right.
which I could learn and understand and know Afghanistan young generation, like that time, like they were the same age as me.
Right.
And also I could just communicate with the Western community, which I always was listening a lot of bad thing about them in Iran with Iranian government funded media.
Right. I can
So,
imagine.
yeah, and well, the first things actually, the first important lessons that I had in Aina was that I need to listen and I need to learn and I need to talk to people around the world and then say that I have information and then I
Yeah.
believe
Right.
that I know them, right? And because I always wanted to be like a journalist, someone who give or reflect the news and the truth and the reality to people. So I kind of like get ready to, kind of like boost my life and try to push myself, right,
Right. Right.
towards this realities, you know?
Hmm.
So for sure, first I needed to know. So I had a lot of, studying a lot of history and philosophy in Iran, but well, everybody knows that the books and the some of the like Western philosophy books or like theories were censored in Iran, right?
Right. Right.
Like, like there was a lot of censorship in
Right.
even about the US, you know?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially about us.
Exactly. Let me just open one parenthesis here and like express my wish and dream for the Iranian friends and people that they reach freedom as soon as possible. And I would love to, celebrate this with them. If
Yes.
Iran gets free and everybody can go back,
That's
I
right.
would definitely go with them and
Right.
I would record their happiness for freedom.
Absolutely. They've got a lot going on there right now.
Right now it is, yeah. I was with them, as you said, I was with the reformist movement, which also failed because of the dictatorship of this Khamenei.
Hmm.
And I know that feeling. I've been part of feeling. I wanted to be free. I wanted to have free information about the world. I wanted to have my own actually judgment about the world when I was there, you know?
Right.
Not
Right.
the like a government or official judgment about the world, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. When I get back to Afghanistan, understood that whatever the Iranian government tried to wash my brain was wrong about the world, you know?
Right.
It wasn't like something that I find and I could learn from the French nationals, Americans, Germans, Dutch, and Italian, Japanese, you know,
Right. Right.
South Korean people in Afghanistan.
Right.
And that was really good opportunity for me to see the good people around the world, the
Right.
people who had the same feeling and the same motivation and the same purpose as myself. So for this, for sure that I realized actually that I have to work really hard and I need to, spend a lot of energy that I have to, develop and learn faster because I came back from a refugees life from Iran into my own country
Right.
and I was 19 years old and then I really thought that I don't have much time. Anyway, so I joined Aina and I learned photojournalism. I did like a practice photography when I was in Iran. So I learned photojournalism from a lot of, professional
Right.
trainers that I had.
Right.
Like for sure that the head of the department was Manucher Deqati. The organization was being established by Reza Deqati, the National Geographic Iranian French photographer.
Mm.
And then I had amazing trainers like Glenn Luther from the US, who's living in DC now, David Bathgate, also originally from the US, living in Germany, and Katrin Kiviat and Sean Hopes from Australia, and all this. It was, I can't say that it was only one person. So
Right.
I
Right.
learned everything from these people,
Yeah.
every of these professional and great activist people, right?
Yeah.
Taught me how to deal with the
Well, you had some
photojournalism,
great people mentoring you.
Yes, exactly. And then many of them like taught me how to work and make like a photo story and all this. And that was the exact, training and information and knowledge that I needed
Right.
myself.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I I cooked this motivation when I was in Iran, but in Iran I did not have any permission even to carry a professional camera,
Right.
because I wasn't citizen and I didn't have the certain rights like other people in Iran.
Right.
Anyway, I start like documenting the war, and well, actually, let me just say this, that I start documenting peace and reconstruction, which I really wanted.
Right.
But there was like probably the third or fifth day of my life in Kabul that I was, feeling, and I faced a big explosion in front of culture ministry in Kabul, which the result killed a small child who was selling cigarettes
Hmm.
there. And
Right.
in that 2, 3 days when I was there and I was walking past him, he was like a really, great and beautiful and innocent kids in Afghanistan
Right.
were saying salam. And I said like, hi, salam.
Right.
But unfortunately, that day that explosion happened, when I ran to that place which was close to my home, and I saw the shoes of that little boy, and I saw that there was a lot of blood around that cigarette, let's say cart selling, whatever we call it,
Right.
and
Right.
it made me really, really upset. I said, okay, that was the thing and the thought that it came to my brain, and said, I told myself that how can I be more effective in this country, because it was new for me and
Right.
I didn't know a lot of things about that society. And I said, okay, why not that I start covering the ugliest and like the most evil face and picture in the world, the face of the war.
Right.
And I started like a little bit watching documentaries and then talk to big war photographers like Steve McCurry and all these people who were in Afghanistan before.
Right.
And I tried to, like be with them and learn from them, and like try to ask them to take me with them when they're getting and having any assignments in
Right.
Afghanistan, so I could just learn about this, and I
Exactly.
did.
Yeah.
And well, for sure that when the war kind of got started really serious after 2005, I start like trying to, communicate with more media and more organization around the world, selling my photos or giving or, gifting my photos just to show that what's going on in Afghanistan. At the same time, I was trying to explain the situation, explain the new generation demand in Afghanistan. I tried to explain whatever that I thought the world do not know about
Right.
Afghanistan
Right.
in like during the interviews that I had, or if I just wanted to write some articles or whatever. And well, for sure that this activity made me a little bit known among people, among news agencies, other journalists, other organizations. And well, I just said, okay, if I'm going to be famous, right, why not that I use this fame only for reaching my own three goals that I told you
Right.
first, right?
Right. Right.
And why not that I use this, fame to raise my voice as one of the voice for Afghanistan, right?
Absolutely.
And for sure that in 2006, after like I was freelancing with a lot of newspapers, magazines, websites around the world, I joined AFP, Agence France-Presse in Kabul, and I start like covering the violence, war, news, cultural activities and everything for that.
Right.
And I put my focus on covering this war, which I was alive and it was in my kind of young period of my life.
Right.
when I was living in Iran and I wanted to see something from Afghanistan in any books or any places, I really didn't find any, good picture. There was a lot of talks about like Afghanistan people fought against Britain, against Russia,
Right.
against that, but there wasn't any picture.
Okay.
So I said that, all right, if there is not any picture about it, either is not right, okay,
Right.
or there is another problem which comes to my mind that Afghanistan society and people do not have the right people, professional people to
Right.
do this for them, right?
Right.
And that's why that they 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 do not own actually the identity that the world think about Afghanistan. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like the identity was being written or being bold for Afghanistan was not made by people of Afghanistan,
Exactly.
right?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the pictures either was like owned by, I don't know, British loyal, I don't know, library,
Right.
or some other foreign photographers or journalists,
Right.
right?
Right.
Nothing was inside Afghanistan, right? Nothing
Right.
was owned by Afghanistan. So for sure that I wasn't really sure that I can even believe the pictures are coming away, right? Coming out, right?
Right. And I knew that's where you were going with this.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of,
Right.
fake.
And I can understand that.
Yeah, there are a lot of fake news. There are a lot of fake information about like people from Afghanistan fought that, fought that, fought that. But this is that I really wanted to do it myself. I was
Right.
in Afghanistan.
Right.
I was in one of the biggest news agency of the world.
Right.
And I said, okay, now this is the opportunity that I have to do it, you know?
Right. Right.
I was complaining about it. Now I have the knowledge. I have the means,
Right.
and why not?
Exactly.
So I communicate with the ISAF, which was a NATO organization in Afghanistan, in
Mhm.
Kabul, and I said that I'm working for AFP, is a really a credible news agency in the world, and I want to cover the operations and the war that international forces are doing against terrorism, right? And they said, okay, why not? So I start embedding with the, U.S. troops and NATO troops. And
Right.
my first embed was with the Marines in south of Helmand, an area called Garamsir, which was one of the really hot, battleground
Okay.
for everyone, let's say.
Right.
So I start, recording that, and I like was facing more violence every day, and it was getting me really, really upset. And the thing was coming to my mind that okay, where we are going, what is
Right.
why like more than 50 countries with their forces, with their money, is here. They're
Right.
here
Right.
and they all promised us freedom, democracy, but nothing works. What is
Exactly.
the problem? And I found out that the NATO, the US, and all international community who were in Afghanistan, they were all wrong. Why? Because they were using the same texts and narratives which was out from Afghanistan completely wrong by one group and one tribal and one tribe who were always rule Afghanistan,
Right.
always destroyed Afghanistan, always kept Afghanistan backward, and those information by the name of their system, kingship or whatever, was wrong, and still the US and European country was thinking and planning and making policy based on those,
Right.
narratives. So I start communicating with the foreigners, with the officials, and trying to let them know that what is going on, right? And why, none of their, policies work for Afghanistan. Are they thinking that they know people of Afghanistan? How they know people of Afghanistan?
Right.
What they know about people of Afghanistan, right? So I start like communicating with them, with the US embassy officials, European Union officials, French like officials, German officials, Dutch officials. I was going through their, gathering for journalists or conference or everything, and I tried to talk to them.
Right.
Later on, as I just told you that I like dedicated my life for this. Later on, like decided to join American University to find a better way to explain, find a better language to explain. And I start studying politics from 2016, which also my first semester was let me just rephrase in this, that in my first semester I faced one of my deepest sadness and horrible event that had happened, and that was Taliban attacks on American University, which killed one of my really great and dear friends, and plus 13 more, and wounded more than 150 people.
Right.
One of the complaint that I had about this, actually, I'm gonna just say this, and we go back again to
Okay.
my journey in this way.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the complaint that I had, because I was covering war and I knew a lot about war, I was watching a lot of documentary, reading a lot of books, and research about like war photography, war journalism. I knew that in war zone like Afghanistan, especially in 2016, an organization like the American University needs a really smart and good, protection.
Oh yeah.
When I joined the, AUAF in Kabul, well, I saw that there was let's say 1.5 meter high wall,
Right.
behind the, university, which was neighboring another school for uh, students,
Okay.
right? The
Okay.
children.
Right.
I told to one of the security officials inside the AUAF, and I said that I know that our neighbor is another school, and I know that school has a guard, but I cannot trust that the terrorists won't use that
Right.
thing. Why? Because it was really stupid, right? That neighboring school had a small, actually, let's say zero security system,
Right.
right? With a big and not stable door or
Right.
gate,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And for sure that everybody, even just if they just push that door, they could like destroy it and they'd come in. And this 1.5 meter wall wasn't protecting and didn't protect in AUAF.
Right.
And I told them this is not really, professional. Well, they said, well, that official told me that, okay, he will tell someone. But I think it was probably 1 or 2 months after exactly that time that attack happened. An attack happened exactly from that, school that I say, right?
Right. Right.
And I kind of faced one of the horrible, I mean, and devil and evil, attack on my university, which my life was under threat, not as a journalist that time, as a normal university student, as a
Right.
normal Afghanistan citizen. So
Right.
I could feel this, that me, Massoud Hossaini, who's not there for reporting, who's not there for,
Yeah. You was there to learn.
as a journalist,
Right.
I could feel as a normal person from Afghanistan, and I saw that, and I reported to Associated Press, the organization that I was working that time, at the same time of the explosion and at the same time of attack. I was trying to report them, and then which they never appreciated actually. Anyway, so when the attack happened, right? I'm gonna just say this, and then we go back to
Okay.
again my first of journey. When the attack happened, so the explosion and the wave of the explosion shook the building that I was, And I realized because I was close to window, right?
Okay.
And the window was in my left side, right? So when the explosion happened, the glasses broke and was thrown outside. It means the explosion happened in my right side,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So I ran to that side. I crossed the hall and I went to the other class that all the broken glasses were inside because explosion happened that side.
Right.
Nobody was there. And when I would look at the from the window to just see what's going on, I saw that like the trees were on fire, right?
Mhm.
And the wall, that short wall, was
Right.
completely blown up, and you
Okay.
had a big destruction in it. And from this wall, from like a circle of the fire, right?
Mhm.
A devil get in, and he had a lot of metals in his body, and like kind of like made his gun ready and aimed it on me and start shooting, right?
Right.
So I just threw myself back because I had a lot of training and I had a lot of experiences. So I was really fast and I threw myself back, and I had like my both hand wounded because of the glasses on the ground.
Of course. Yeah.
I got my hands and I was bleeding. I just passed the hall again and I went to my own class and I shout everyone that we have to stay here. We have to block the door. We do not have time. The terrorists are in. So there was American professor on that classroom that we had,
Okay.
and I told him, and we start like pushing all the tables and chairs and everything behind the door. So, and then we were like around 14 young girls, younger than me for sure, and like 5 to 6 men. But everybody were, younger than me, and everybody relied on me that I can do something because I was famous, and everybody knew that I was covering war and
Right.
all this, right?
Right.
So I start communicating, and I was also writing like minute by minute the tweets, right, in Twitter, right?
Right. Right.
Trying to, and I was asking help from the Twitter because
Right.
I really didn't know what to do. No.
Right.
So a special force of the US Embassy communicated with me asking me what is going on, and I explained them. Many other forces and security forces communicate with me, and I told them that I saw one of them and I know that he's fully armed,
Right.
and I think that he has a suicide vest on his own body. And well, but to be honest, nothing was happening. At the same time, when these girls and boys, the students, my classmates, were asking me that what's going on, who you're talking to, what will happen, I tried to just, cool them down. I said, okay, don't worry, everything is fine. The security forces are coming, and police is coming, for special forces that we had in like interior ministry. I said, they are coming, don't worry. This is the fight that
Right.
they're doing.
Right.
If you hear the, gun sound, right?
Mhm.
Gunfire is because security forces are fighting them.
Right.
But to be honest, it was not true. So I put my ear on the ground. I was in a third floor and I tried to listen what's going on. And there was only sound of one weapon,
Okay.
right? Which was a terrorist. And he was easily going to every classroom,
Right.
open the door, kicking it, and then start
Right.
firing, right?
Right.
And I said, all right, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna die here,
Right.
right? And I was just trying to, write like, let's say, the last sentences of my life, right?
Right.
Because I knew that we were gonna die. So some minutes, like passed, and the terrorist went to the second floor and start like going to every classroom and start
Right.
fighting. And then when he was using the stairs and was coming up, right? And as I told you, I saw him with a lot of like iron in his body
Right.
to just make a lot of, I don't know, if he wanted to explode himself, those irons, right,
Right.
will and stills would make a lot of, wounds and a lot of
Right.
casualties, right?
Right.
So this terrorist with those like stills and irons on his body
Right.
was coming up, and I could hear it because there wasn't any other noise that time, right? Everywhere was completely dark
Right.
and silent because
Right.
of the, fear. And I could just listen that it was coming like this. I'm gonna just like perform the noise was like,
Okay.
and I just wrote my last tweet, and I said that this might be my last tweet. The terrorist is coming and I have to do something. So I put my mobiles inside my packets and I said, all right, I sat on the ground, right? And I was still waiting. But these students and classmates with me, they still thought that everything is okay because I tried to tell them that
Right.
everything is okay.
Right.
And then suddenly, like after the stairs, our class was the first. And then suddenly someone kicked the door, and I could even see the shoes, right? With the
Okay.
small light that we had
Right.
in the class, I could see the shoes. The shoes, even the model was a blue Adidas shoes,
Okay.
And I got really, really scared, right?
Right.
And everybody, the girls and the others, start shouting. And I said, that's it. We're gonna die if we do not jump from the window. Go to the edge of the window. Everybody runs there and they start like jumping from the window. And there was two girls that they didn't, take out their long dresses, right? And
Right.
they couldn't go in the edge of the window. I took these two girls and threw them back. And in this time, because the terrorist couldn't come in, right? He used the window, top of the door, which was broken, right?
Okay.
And threw a grenade inside the
Oh
class.
no.
Yeah, and I was thrown out,
Okay.
right? And I lost my cautions and everything probably for some second. What
Right.
I remember, there was all fire from behind, right? But anyway, for some kind of maybe luck or something, I got the window. When I just was throwing out, I got the window and I just like was like attached to the window, and window was like moving around
Oh no.
like this,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
And I didn't know what to do. I thought that I'm dead, right?
Right. Right.
But anyway, I look at down and I saw a machine of AC, air conditioner,
Right.
air condition on there, right? And if I thought that if I just jump on it, I might be okay because the rest of the space was cement,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And I tried to, focus, and I jumped on it. And my, left leg was wounded a little bit, but I just threw myself on the ground and grass of the garden. And then I was like completely laid down on the ground, and I
Uh-huh.
saw the girls, and the boys around me, my classmates. They really didn't know. Some of them were completely shocked.
Oh,
So,
I'm
and
sure.
I
Yeah.
just try, yeah, and I tried to pull their bodies around myself, right?
Right.
And then I just told them that, okay, guys, we need to get back in our feet and we have to run away from here.
Right.
So, uh, well, I'm sorry to say this part like this, but this is what I had to do. That American professor, which was also escaped outside, he came to me and said that, what should I do? Because he knew me too. And I told him that, listen, there is a door over there at the main door, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to run that side, right? And
Right.
there are some other, guards over there, and you have to escape from that door. And this is like kind of like, for me, was kind of a strategy, let's say. On that time, it came to my mind. I thought that, okay, if he ran that way, right?
Right.
And the terrorists will think on that way, on that run, and they will distract it. So I can take all these young boys and girls from the other way,
Other
right?
direction. Right.
Yeah, the other direction. So
Right.
he ran that way, and I told all these girls and boys
Right.
that we have to run that
Right.
way.
You created a distraction to save the rest
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we tried to, use the, flowers and trees and the grasses, right? The
Right.
bushes,
Whatever you
bush.
got. Yeah.
Yeah, and we just start using them as cover each other, and then ran to the emergency gate and I saw the dead body of some students and that friend that I had on the ground, but I
Mhm.
just told everyone that do not do anything. I told already everyone that we just ran.
Right.
We do not stop. We do not make noise. We do
That's
not
right.
make light.
Right.
We just ran. So we ran to the next open area. Then the security guards shouted us and said, this way. And we went that way. And we entered to a normal Kabul street from that gate, which was completely dark.
Okay.
Right. And then I saw and I realized that the girls are crying.
Right.
And some of the boys are just like making noise out of pain,
Right.
whatever. And I just told them that, okay, guys, we have to go from here.
Right.
So what I've done, I just like kind of made a chain, right?
Right.
I was in the middle of this chain. I got both the girls and boys with my arms, and I
Mhm.
told them that please make chain with your arms. And then I was just like, we all had to, pull each other,
Right.
right? So, and then we went to another, a street, and we saw that a man was standing there with this really, really small torch light.
Okay.
And I just said that, listen, we are students for the AUEF and we are wounded. Can we go in? And he said, yeah, come in. So we went to their home,
Okay.
right? And anyways, the story is really, long, but after that, I could manage that I take everyone in my class out with this strategy and this thing. And that was one of the things that I'm still really happy that I've done that. And I'm still really, happy that one of the great things that I did for Afghanistan, for the educated community of Afghanistan, which are really like small.
Right.
And I'm proud of that even
Oh yeah,
now that I'm
absolutely. You
like,
should be. You should be.
anyway, so this was one of the, actually the most horrible, attack that I was facing. There was attack on myself to assassinate me, to target at me, but it was
Yes.
only me, right?
Right. Right.
And my ex, like no, there wasn't like many young students with me that I scared, right? So
Right.
on that classroom, I was thinking that, okay, if something happened to all of us, then it will be really, really big, pain for a lot of people. So I
Right.
tried my best to escape from that. And anyway, well, if we go back to beginning of my journey in Afghanistan, so I joined AFP as I told you. I start taking picture of the war explosions. I was going embed with American troops, Army, Air Force, Marines, and one of the best unit that I've done embedding with them was Medevac,
Okay. Yeah.
which they were helping everyone, doesn't matter
Everyone.
what. Yeah.
Right. Didn't
That
matter where
was,
they was from, what country
yeah,
they was from.
yeah.
I mean, they
I
helped
hope,
us. They helped Afghans as well.
yeah, I hope that one of those soldiers on that unit listen to this and I just tell them that thank you so much for the great job you were doing.
Right. Well, I
Anyway,
certainly hope this. I hope this episode reaches some of them.
yeah. Anyway, one of the, stories that I covered with Medevac was when I was embedding with them was this, that I went to one of the like Medevac unit in Helmand, and I forgot the name of that fob, to be honest, but it was in Helmand. It was one of the small fobs, and that fobs was being commanded by Leatherneck camp,
Okay.
the biggest camp in Helmand,
Right.
but I forgot the name of that camp actually. So anyway, so I thought that I'm really, fast, right? Like getting ready and everything. So
Right.
what I was doing, I put my cameras beside my bed, right? And my flak jacket, right?
Right.
Bulletproof jacket also. And I was like sleeping with the shoes on, was it right? Yeah, because the rule was this: when they had a radio calling medevac, medevac,
Right.
medevac,
Right.
we had to be in close to the helicopter.
Oh yeah, you
So
had to go. Yeah.
so one day actually, so early morning that happened, right? And it was like medevac, 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 and I just like wake up and got my flak jacket and put it on and got my camera, searched, changed my cameras and I ran. And I thought, I thought that I'm like probably the first, but I saw that everybody was waiting for me
Uh-oh.
inside the helicopter. They were really fast. So I went there and we landed to an area that American Army Humvee was exploded by a landmine.
Okay.
And the driver of that Humvee, which was a army soldier by the age of, if I'm not mistaken, the age was from 19 to 22,
That sounds
maybe
about right.
20,
That's
yeah,
about right.
21 or 20 or one of
Right.
this.
Right.
I'm not sure. But he was really young and he didn't have a major injury. Only his left leg was broken,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So they brought him inside the helicopter. I got all the pictures, and the pictures are in gettyimages.com and AFP website. Everybody can go and see it. And then when they brought these soldiers inside the helicopter, I tried to take picture of every activity that the medevac people were doing to
Right.
him. And then I was taking picture, but there was a lot of noise for sure that I didn't hear what they were talking to each other because I didn't put my headphone, right?
Right.
I wanted to take picture and they were just talking to each other. And then I saw that they are getting faster, right? For something like putting some serum or inject him and then get more faster. And then suddenly one of them start like giving him heart massage, what do you
Right.
call it?
CPR.
Yeah, CPR, right? And they were doing it really fast, and I really scared, and I was really worried that was gonna happen.
Right.
But anyway, we arrived to the Kandahar, like military, U.S. military hospital, and they took the body to the hospital, and I had to wait inside the helicopters because we had to leave. And when they came back, there was a lady, actually, there was a female soldier who was like behind the a weapon inside that Black Hawk.
Hmm.
And I asked her, and I said that what happened, and she said that well, her heart just stopped beating, and maybe he died. So it was really really sad again.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of this kind of sad images and activities in front of me, and I never get used to it.
Well, I don't see how
And
anybody could.
yeah, why? Because I think I'm a human.
Exactly.
That's the reason that I
Exactly.
cannot get used to to see that people are being killed or being died or things, because
Right.
this is really important for human. So, and this was one of those, embeds and incidents that I covered, and many of this, many of others that I've done in Afghanistan. I just was witnessing like the killing of a lot of people, children,
Right.
especially children.
Right.
And that was my experience that everywhere that I went for any, moment, it doesn't matter when people like burying their children, or they were crying over their body, or they are trying to do something for the body to just save at least the body, right?
Right.
I
Right.
was there and
Right.
I was taking picture, and people of Afghanistan wanted to be heard, wanted to be seen, and
Right.
that's why that they were really okay with like photographers, right? And they never, pushed me out. They never pushed me away, and they just was telling me and showing me that see what's going on with us. And I was taking picture and recording those painful moments, and yeah, and that was only one, hope for me. And I was hoping that, okay, we are, giving a lot of sacrifice. We are
Right.
giving a lot of life. And these all are legitimate when we have a freedom and democracy. The two things that the US and Western community promised us, right?
Mhm.
And that's why that we were working and helping with them.
Right.
That's why we accept in Bonn conference, we accept that the NATO, Western and the US forces can enter in Afghanistan. Like let's say 100,000 of them entered in Afghanistan
Right.
without visa, without any registration, without passport. Why? Because we thought to save the lives in the US, in the world, and to guarantee freedom and democracy, we need this. So with all this, the war was going more. The war was going worst, right? It doesn't matter who came to the power in the US, President Bush, President Obama, President Trump. The war was going to be worse every day.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And as I told you, the reason was that the forces, the advisors, those who think they were brain behind that war,
Right.
never listened to us.
Right.
Right?
Right.
They never wanted to listen to us. They
Right.
thought that they have enough information.
Yes.
Right?
And
But what is
they
going
got
on?
the information from the wrong people.
Wrong people, yeah.
Yes.
What is like known for Afghanistan is that the extremists and the that tribal forces and brains
Right.
try to deceive the world,
Oh yeah.
deceive all the
Right.
time.
Right.
Or like right now, that Taliban are deceiving the West,
Yes.
and they are getting and receiving $400 million per month by signature of President Trump, who said that I don't want to spend money for anything that is not right.
Right. Yeah.
So, and they are still deceiving the world. They are still deceiving the West. They are still, getting their money. And the money that right now the U.S. funded them, the U.S. administration, President Trump administration funded the Taliban terrorists,
Right.
is going to train other group of the
Oh
terrorists.
yeah, without a doubt. Without a
That's
doubt.
it. Yeah. And I do not have any doubt on it. You know, President Trump, who signed the failed agreement
The Doha
of
agreement.
Doha
Yeah.
with the Taliban,
Right.
is paying the money to the terrorists,
Right. Right.
And they easily deceive President Trump,
Right.
showing them that they are fighting IS, right? But
Well,
there are all
I'm not buying
lies.
it. Right. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
all lies.
they're all lies.
Yes.
Right?
And just to set the record straight to our viewers, what Massoud is talking about is for several years now, the U.S. government has been funding the Taliban, but it's at the tune of $40 million a week. Okay.
Yes.
There is currently a bill that has passed Congress to defund the Taliban, and the U.S. Senate has that bill now, and they're sitting on it. Why it's been just sitting there collecting dust is beyond me, because to this day, the Taliban is still getting $40 million of taxpayer money every single week. And it's not a wire transfer, it's cash.
It is cash.
It's cash bundled on skids flown into Afghanistan. And from there, it is distributed into the banks that the Taliban own.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
that money is going to purchase arms, to purchase ammunition, and to train terrorists.
yes, exactly. And at the same time, yeah, thank you very much to correct me. It was 40 million, not 400 million.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, and I just add this, that any kind of military bases that the US made, including Bagram, which President Trump complaining about all those money being like spent in Bagram, and Bagram needs to be back in the hand of the US forces, right now is being used to train terrorists.
Oh, yeah.
Terrorists
And
from Pakistan.
anybody thinks that the Taliban is going to give up control of Bagram Air Base has their head up their ass. It's not going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're training TTP from Pakistan.
Yes.
They are training Al Qaeda. They are training, they are training Uzbekistan extreme and terrorist group. They are training Tajikistan extreme group, and they are training the like Baluch terrorist organization from Iran as well.
Okay.
Yeah, they were also, help Taliban to attack girls, boys in schools, in hospitals, right? And then whenever Taliban didn't want to deal with media, they were saying that, oh, it wasn't us, right? But they was their own allies, like this kind of people, right?
Right.
Like just as a parenthesis, I'm gonna just tell you in 2020, in 2021,
Okay.
the first months, there was a huge attack, three bomb on a girls, Hazara Girls High School in west of Kabul, killed more than 170 children,
Right.
right? Age 7 to, let's say, 14,
Right.
right?
Right.
And like left behind many wounded that when me and my colleague Len talked to some of them, like they were under a lot of mental pressures and
Right.
mental shocks,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I, with the help of my brother, who was the head of an American charity organization for war zones, we could send only 10 wounded girls to Turkey. And when they came back, I talked to them.
Nice. Yeah.
And believe me, from the time that I talked to them, that I was crying,
Oh,
how
I'm
they were
sure.
just
Right.
saying, till
Right.
the end of that.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah, well, with all this, actually, war was getting more like worst, right?
Right.
And when I joined AP, Associated Press,
Right.
unfortunately, because Associated Press, like organizers and the bosses in New York, didn't listen to us, we lost also Anya, the only Pulitzer Prize winner in Germany.
Oh, wow. I hate to hear that.
At the first year that I joined AP, right? And that made me really upset, and I lost like Sardar Ahmad, who was close friend of mine in AFP. I lost Marai, who was chief photographer at AFP. I was Akhtar, who was driver for AFP and good friend of mine. I lost Anya from AP. I know I lost a lot of other friends of mine
Exactly.
in front of me, right?
Exactly.
So if there is nothing that I want to be supporting as a political ideas for me, because who am I is the one that I already think that I'm dead with my friends,
Right.
right?
Right.
But I still have this responsibility to write down or talk about the truths and realities that I saw and I
Right.
was witness
Right.
in Afghanistan, right?
Right.
So that's why that I'm trying to. It's not easy for me. I'm sure
Oh, I
that you
can
understand.
imagine.
It's not
Yeah.
easy for me to
No.
talk about them,
Right.
but I do it because I feel that it's my
Right.
responsibility.
Right.
And yeah, well, so for sure that after that, I start like working as a professional photographer
Mhm.
covering war in Afghanistan. I was just realizing that there are a lot of mistakes being happening right now,
Right.
and there are a lot of attacks. And I said, okay, I'm gonna like focus on one thing.
Right.
First, recording all aspects and all angles of the ugly face of the war.
Right.
Although that it was killing myself,
Right.
and it was a slow killing, for me, it was a really slow death with a
Right.
lot of pain.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I've been
You've been
wounded.
through a lot.
Yeah, I've been wounded, and I could escape 11 times the absolute death.
Right.
Right. But I never stopped, I'm sure that like people right now, because of all this hate speech against refugees and immigrations,
Right.
think at this that, okay, if you were out of Afghanistan, you could just like have asylum in one of them. I was going outside of Afghanistan again for this, to raise my voice, to talk about this to
Right.
everywhere from 2005. The first country that I went, and it was by the help of Goethe Institute in Germany, was Berlin.
Okay.
So I made an exhibition there and talked over there to people and told them that, listen, see me like, and what I'm doing, I'm
Right.
a normal person like you.
Right.
People of Afghanistan also exactly like you,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So please, let's stop politics and let's be
I agree.
honest
I
with each
agree.
other, and let's finish this pain.
Right. I agree.
So this was my message everywhere that I went in the world, and it is even right now, right? That we, people of Afghanistan, maybe we were and we are really stupid that sacrifice our life for the West 2 times. One time when the Soviet Union regime entered Afghanistan, right?
Right.
And then the US, even people know the senators who went to Pakistan and encouraged people of Afghanistan
Right.
to raise army, get the weapon, and
Right.
start fighting against them.
Right.
And we did.
Right.
And when we were successful to get the Russian army, Red Army, Communist Army, whatever they were calling it,
Right.
the first and the most strongest and powerful army in the world, right?
Right.
We
Right.
kicked them out,
Right.
right?
Right.
And we
You stood
were,
up. You stood up for yourself,
and for the world.
and you prevailed.
Yeah, and for the world,
Right.
and for the West,
Right.
and we kicked them out. But after that, the US and the West left us alone.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then we went to a really embarrassing, shameful civil war. In one aspect of the politics, everybody knew that it will happen. Why? Because there was only one idea and one group and one tribe was ruling Afghanistan, and they were denying other nationalities and tribes rights.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And that tribe, like traditionally, were against and are against women rights and women education.
Big time. Big time.
Yeah. So, and well, when again, like I'm telling this again, that in Bonn conference, we accepted, right? We accepted,
Right.
people of Afghanistan accepted to let the US come in. Unfortunately, President Trump and Zalmay Khalilzad, who's a supporter of the Taliban terrorists, made a really bad agreement with the Taliban.
Oh, without a doubt.
And Taliban violated all the, like articles of that.
Yes.
I don't know why President Trump is still sending money to them when they violated all agreement.
Right.
Right?
Right.
The agreement was this, that they should never come to the big cities of Afghanistan, and they should never have any, activity around big cities, right?
Right.
And at the same time, they said that the forces that we support, there wasn't any one word of Afghanistan government. There
Right.
wasn't any, word of Afghanistan Republic government.
Right.
In that agreement, everybody can see it.
Oh.
It means that
everything was centered around the Taliban.
Yeah, it means that Zalmay Khalilzad, the special envoy of President Trump in Afghanistan, already dissolved the government in that agreement.
Yeah, I
Right?
saw that.
Yeah. So this was the start of Afghanistan fall, and it was really, serious. Why?
Yes.
Because I'm sure that Mr. Zalmay Khalilzad, as a supporter of the Taliban, knew, but President Trump didn't know that time,
Right.
that what Taliban were doing it.
Oh, yeah, he was being lied to.
Yeah, what Taliban were doing it after that, agreement was that they were going around the big cities without weapon.
Right.
Or they were hiding their weapons somewhere. It's their country. They know what to do.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they were just probably use some like underground tunnels or something like that, right? But anyway, they went around the cities, right?
Yes. Yes.
And when President Biden got the White House, right?
Right.
Well, there already was late.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I got, because I was witness, I was there.
Right.
It was my life there, right?
Oh, I could see.
And I could see that.
Yeah.
And then, like from June 2021, the collapse started.
Yes.
First of all, by the help of that Jundullah, the Baluch terroristic group of Iran, who had good communication and allies with the Taliban, they got Nimruz, the city of Baluch, like ethnicity.
Okay.
That was the first violation. Then they start getting the other big cities in the south.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So they start a big attack in Spinboldak, which one of the friend of mine, a photographer from Reuters, an Indian photographer from Reuters, who was even Muslim, right?
Okay.
So he's been captured by Taliban, and then he's been killed, and then they got the American-made Humvees, right?
Right.
And military kind of like vehicles from the Afghanistan army, and then they drew on his body several times, right? That what I know about that horrible cruelty is that there wasn't anything left of his body
Oh,
to
I
be
can
given
imagine. I mean,
to his
if
family.
you run over it with a
Yeah,
Humvee several times, I mean,
exactly,
that's
exactly.
that's horrific.
And this is the reality of the terrorism,
Right.
right? To make people scared,
Right.
to make
Oh
people
yeah,
die,
they
right?
rule on fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, and me and Len, we both were in Kabul in Afghanistan, and we were trying to go around,
Mhm.
and I thought that, okay, I think that is not possible to go to South because people are really close and helping sometimes the militia from their own tribe, their own
Right.
relatives, right? But we start going to the center of Afghanistan and to Herat, right?
Right.
And we saw that in the center of Afghanistan, there was a lot of cruelty,
Right.
right? Me and Len, we went to a village called Saigon.
Right. And for our listeners out there, what he's referring to when he's talking about Lynn, he's referring to Lynn O'Donnell. She was on a previous podcast, and these two, they were a team.
Yes,
They've seen a lot together. They've been through a lot together,
yeah,
and so that's who he's referring to. Go ahead.
yeah. So we went to Saigon. Saigon was a small city in the beginning of a river, right? And the
Okay.
water
Okay.
is really important in the most driest country of the world, for sure,
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah. So that was my question, that what the international forces and the community did about the water after that they spent $4 trillion in
Right.
Afghanistan, what they
Right.
did.
Right.
Anyway, so we went there. That village have been taken by the Taliban first, and then people and what we call it public and people's forces, right?
Okay.
They got
Okay.
armed,
Right.
came into that village and pushed them back. We went there and we talked to women. And then those women who were there and wanted to talk to us only because of this, that they show what's going on,
Okay.
and they just wanted to let everybody know that if Taliban comes back, they will do this. They told us that Taliban went to the mosque, used the mic, right, and
Right.
speaker,
Right.
and told to the village and told them that you have to make a list of the virgin unmarried girls and the widows of Afghanistan
Right.
Republic
Right.
security forces
Right.
and bring that list for us. And when I asked those girls that why they did this, they said because the men were being killed in the fight, in the army, in the police. So what they wanted to do in a village like Saigon, in the first of a river,
Right.
right, was to marry the girl by force in that village.
Exactly.
So their soldiers could stay there, and because that villages was 100% populated by Tajiks,
Right.
right, and
Right.
didn't have any Pashtun tribe, so
Right.
then Taliban, soldiers like from south of Afghanistan or even maybe from a Pashtun area in Pakistan could stay there
Right.
and get involved with the water and with the soil of that village. This is
Right.
the culture in Afghanistan.
Right.
So the girls were telling me this, themselves. Like, let's say one of them who was really bright and was really educated because of the time that Republican was Afghanistan was there, and I think she was 19 years old. She was telling me all this, and
Right.
I have recorded.
Okay.
I record this
Right.
in my camera with video. I have all the voice and everything.
Right.
And then we heard all these painful stories, like how one of the stories was this, that the father took two of his teenage girls in the middle of the night when Taliban entered, and then said that, and went to another in top of a mountain on
Right.
that area.
Right.
And then the father told to his two daughters and said that, do you see those light over there?
Hmm.
There is that village.
Right.
Go there and go to the Malik house and
Right.
tell her that you're my daughter.
Right.
Go. And then the other daughter said, you go to that village and do
Right.
the same. And these two girls were talking to us and telling us that how much they scared of
Oh, I'm
darkness
sure. Yeah.
and, let's say, the dogs or the wolves or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
No? Imagine a teenager girl in Afghanistan, right?
Oh, they had
Never have this kind of,
they had to live in fear
experience.
constantly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. But anyway, we had to stay really, really short over there, me and Len. So
Right.
we even couldn't, have food or anything. We had just one glass of green tea
Okay.
because we were the guest and we had
Right.
to accept that.
Right.
And then we get back to Bamyan. And when I got back to Bamyan, after that sending pictures to Foreign Policy magazine, so I went to have a shower. This is
Right.
what I wrote it as my diaries in Facebook. And when I opened the water in the shower, I felt that I was like a really, really hot metal that the water like tried to cool me down.
Right.
And then I felt that oh my God, I'm still alive. It was a bad shock that I was saying that all my dreams that I had for Afghanistan, and
Right.
all those things that I've done in Afghanistan, all those times that I bleed for Afghanistan,
Right. Right.
is ending with this now. There was a time that whenever I was going to like small cities or villages, everybody were just like thanking me that I'm trying for them
Oh,
for the
yeah.
education, right?
I know they had to be grateful.
Yeah, and believe me, believe me, now I'm so upset about those girls that I encouraged them to go to the school, and now they cannot continue their school,
Right.
And some of them calling me through the WhatsApp, some of them messaging me in Facebook and
Right.
was telling me this, that how much they are in pain,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And me, Masood, that I was like spending my life, I got a lot of pain, I bleed, I was dreaming a lot, and I tried for Afghanistan. Now I
Right.
can't do anything.
I
And
understand.
this is still part of that slow death that
Yes,
I'm feeling.
I understand. So let's talk a little bit about you and Lynn were actually on the last commercial flight out of Afghanistan during the withdrawal.
Yeah.
And the feelings that you had when you got on that plane, knowing that you was being forced to leave your homeland.
Yeah, well, as I told you, I didn't want to leave Afghanistan in any circumstances, in
Right.
any situation,
Right.
right? I just said, okay, I sacrificed my life, and I was ready for that. And
Right.
in many, coverages and many attacks, I knew that I might die, but I said I'm gonna do it because in the end, the world, the West, NATO will help us to reach freedom, and everything will be fine. Peace will come. It doesn't matter am I alive or not, but peace will arrive and people will live comfortably, right? Anyway, none of this happened. And
No. In fact,
as I
just the
told,
opposite happened.
yeah, and after that we covered the collapse of Herat, the last
Mhm.
city, and
Right.
historically I knew that after Herat, Kabul will be surrounded
Right.
by the Taliban, and then everything will be ruined again,
Right.
right?
Right.
So when I arrived to Kabul, still I didn't decide. I was waiting for my visa from the US,
Right.
and it was in the embassy, the visa and everything, but I couldn't go and take it because of the war was
Right. You
close to
couldn't get
Kabul.
there. Right.
Yeah, and then I had a plan B, and I
Right.
got another visa, parole visa from Holland, from Dutch government, but I did not decide to leave, as I told you that I
Right.
didn't want to.
Right.
Anyway, the Len was one of those who was pushing me to,
Right.
like go and buy the ticket and go. And
Right.
anyway, after that, I saw Herat. And when I came back Kabul and I saw Kabul was under a lot of like, let's say, chaos, right?
Mm.
And a lot of, people are on the streets. A lot of war displaced people are on the streets of Kabul. They are
Right.
attacking like expensive cars and ask for money, for food and all this. And I
Right.
thought that, okay, I think that the government is gone,
Yes.
right? And unfortunately, Ashraf Ghani, as the biggest lawyer of our history, wasn't able to do anything. He was just I lie to people that I do this. I studied in the US. I was professor in the US university. I do that. I know American. I know European, but all was fake.
Right.
And he couldn't do anything,
Right.
right?
Right.
And he was ready to escape, right? So it was the same August 12th that I went to the ATM. I got like $2,000 out of ATM, and I went and I bought the last ticket of the last Turkish Airways,
Right.
right?
Right.
Which was flying on August 15, 9 o'clock,
Right.
right?
Right.
So I got that, ticket. I remember that I paid $1,600. So I just had only four more $100.
Right.
So I get back to home. I got $200 to my family,
Right.
and then in afternoon of 13th of August, we made a party. Me and Len, in a friend of house, we just made a gathering,
Right.
but we didn't tell anyone what we are thinking. We knew that, and we were sure that Afghanistan and Kabul will be collapsed in the end of August,
Right.
right? CIA was saying that a month. Then I don't know, like European country was saying that 3 months, right?
Right.
But
Right.
we were the closest one because we just covering war. We
Right.
saw how,
You had a better
yeah,
idea what was going on than they did.
yeah,
Yeah.
we saw how that fake army was being dissolved among themselves. We
Right.
saw that,
Right.
right? We saw how the madness of President Ghani was a cause that army soldiers do not receive bullets or food, and
Right.
they had to go home, right? Anyway, so we got a gathering and we said goodbye to some friends that we could, and it was my ex was on that party with me too, and she was really upset and I'm like angry. And the thing is that what I could do for my
Right.
ex was that managing her to get a scholarship in Germany, and then we bought her ticket for 21st of August.
Okay.
For sure that I didn't know that 15th of August is the collapse day, right?
Right.
Anyway, so in the 14th of August, I went to some of the places in Kabul and those coffee shops and places and visiting friends that me and my ex had really good time over there, had
Right.
memories there.
Right.
Because I knew that if I go away from Kabul, maybe I would never get back to it,
That's true.
right?
Right.
And I get back, finished, and say goodbye to them. I took my ex to her own place, and I went home, and I didn't have any, passion to pack or to do something, right?
Right.
What I've done, I just took. Let me just show it to you.
Okay.
I had in my home, we had a really big garden.
Okay.
Afghanistan and Kabul's houses are big,
Okay.
and definitely all of them have like a big garden to plant some vegetables and all this.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So in that garden, the last activity that I've done, I plant 10 trees for the 10 friends of mine
Very
that
thoughtful.
I lost them.
Right.
Yeah, I lost them in the war. So, and the thing is that I knew that I wouldn't see those trees to grow and to make shades and all
Right.
that. I knew
Right.
it. So I went to the garden in that afternoon of 14th, and I took this much of Afghanistan earth from my home, from
Wow.
Kabul, right?
Right.
Because I knew that I wouldn't see it anymore. I
Right.
knew that I will be the same like I was in Iran after this. I just was always wishing to go back to my birthplace,
Right.
right? Anyway, so got that and I want to sleep, right? I just went to bed
Right.
and I couldn't sleep, and it was around 12 a.m. It means the first minutes of 15th of August, right?
Right.
That I had calls from my friend from Europe and some other countries, and they were telling me that, Massoud, we heard that Kabul is falling. I said, what?
Right.
You're there. How do you understand?
Right.
Why I'm telling this? I'm telling this that how much Taliban propaganda and deceive
Right.
system
Right.
was strong, that Europe and Western countries already heard that
Right.
Kabul is falling before us
Right.
inside Kabul.
Right.
And this show that how much international fight against terrorism was fake,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that they did not do anything,
Right.
right?
Right.
I hope someday those generals who were, managing these attacks and
Right.
fight go to the court
I do
and
too.
face punishment from
Yes.
their own nations.
Yes.
You know.
I agree.
Anyway, well, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I got that calls, and then I sat in my bed and I just said, okay, what's going on? It was 10:30 p.m. that I start getting worried, and in 12 o'clock in the midnight, like
Right.
let's say the first minutes of 15th of August, I heard that the bomb is being dropped in Parman area close to my home.
Okay.
And I went to the top of the building and I saw that, oh my God, some of the small Indian made jet that we had were just going around. And I start messaging to everyone that I know in the government, in intelligence service and all this, that, okay, what's going on? I had a friend among the president bodyguards, which called PPS. So I messaged him and I said that, hey, what's happening? When I was messaging this, the time was 2 a.m.
Okay.
in 15th of August.
Okay.
I just messaged and said that, okay, tell me, my friend, what's happening? He said that this is the reality that I'm telling you,
Right.
according to that guard. I
Right.
don't care what they said in the
I get
news.
it. I get it.
He told me that President Ashraf Ghani already escaped
Right.
with 2 helicopters.
Right.
Right? And what was going on was that there was a fight among Pashtuns and non-Pashtun bodyguards over 50 million cash dollars that Ghani couldn't take it to the helicopter.
Right.
As much as they could, they took it. Even his bodyguards, as he told me, even his bodyguards threw away their weapon, right? That they
Right.
could just put more dollars on the
Right.
helicopters
Right.
because
'Cause
of the weight.
those helicopters don't carry a lot of weight.
Yeah. And then he told me that what he's doing is trying to get rid of his weapon and uniform and trying to escape and go to his family because he's gone, right? Here I really scared, I thought that,
Right.
okay, I might even cannot and don't, be able to go away
Right.
from Afghanistan,
Right.
right?
That
To
thought
go
that thought
to,
had to cross your mind.
yeah. So I was awake, and again, unfortunately, there were a lot of, young, educated girls that I knew that they knew about freedom. They were
Right.
messaging me,
Right.
asking me that what is going on. And again, I couldn't tell them the
Right.
realities, right? And
Right.
I was telling them, no, don't worry. If you hear this jet and whatever, they are American jets, are from our allies, that now they came to fight with Taliban and helping us. And it was a big lie.
Right.
I knew it is
Right.
a lie, but I have to tell them to not getting shocked, right? And no one should get out of the house that time.
Oh
They're
no.
home, right?
No.
So it was like I was, awake all night. I was communicating with Lynn. Lynn was in another guest house. She was awake too.
I'm sure, yeah.
And in a way, so it was around 5 a.m., right? That my father came to my room in our home and brought Quran, and told me that, Masoud, I know your feeling. What happened to my life when Russia wanted to kill me and I had to escape?
Right.
I did it because I did not want to die and make a lot of pain for all of you.
Right.
And now you have to escape,
Yes.
because if they kill you, they will kill all of us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mentally or physically.
Right.
Right. And I said, okay. And I just start like packing really, fast.
Right.
Right. And I packed really stupidly, like I put like one shoes like without being paired, like
Right.
the clothes that I didn't even think that they are okay for me. I put them in and I left all of my expensive and beautiful like clothing that I had because I even didn't think, right? I
Right.
got
Right.
some of the documents that I had, and I got my camera and my
Right.
laptop,
Right.
and I put it in the car, and I went, and then me and Len, we got to airport. So in the airport, the soldiers in the gate, right, came to
Right.
us and told me he was so worried, right?
Right.
He told me that, okay, you're a journalist, tell me what's going on. And I just took out my last 1,000 apps that I had in my packet. I gave it to him and I said that, listen, brother, if you want to save your life, go home.
Right.
It's gone. It's
Right.
finished.
Right.
You've been betrayed
Yes.
by all the world again.
Right.
You have been betrayed by your president, and
Right.
you have been betrayed by anyone that you think that they are
Exactly.
your friend,
Exactly.
right? And then I saw in his face that he was going to cry because everything was gone,
Right.
So we went to inside the airport. It was a chaos. Everybody, like mostly foreigners from the NGOs and like
Right.
charity workers, I
Right.
don't know, like Red Cross and people, Doctor Without Border people, right? They
Right.
were there. Right.
Right.
And they're trying to get in. So we, after struggling a lot, we gave our suitcases inside and then we got our boarding pass. I went with Len to have a coffee, and I saw one of my friends that me and her, we fought for a lot of things together. We made a lot of campaign, for human rights, for
Right.
women rights, for the
Right.
girls' rights and all this, right?
Right.
I saw that she also walked in, and when we see each other, we both start crying. And then,
Oh, that. Yeah.
she came and we hugged, and she asked me that, okay, Masoud, did we lose Kabul? And I said, yes,
Yeah.
we lost Kabul.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we get into the plane, and then like the plane went to the first of the what do you call you say that
The
the
run.
flight line
Runway. Yeah. Right.
runway,
Right.
right? The first of runway, and I stayed there, right? And I
Right.
stopped there,
Right.
and they did not, move, right?
Right.
So after like probably 15 to 20 minutes, then I got really worried,
Right.
I saw a lot of movies like this before
Right.
as well, right?
Right.
That they might come in the end of the, like before that they let any plane go and then they will get us, right?
Right.
And I was just seeing through the window that the activities are getting really bad. But at the same time, like my heart was beating really bad again,
I'm sure.
really
Yeah.
hard, really
Right.
fast. And I had this, feeling in many explosion, especially the explosion that I got a Pulitzer with that photo.
Right.
My heart was exactly beating exactly the same. And then slowly, like I felt that I'm losing my own weight, and this, I was imagining that like I'm going somewhere else, right?
Right.
So suddenly I got back to the time that I was entered in Afghanistan, right? From Iran in the border, when I promised myself to sacrifice my life for Afghanistan, to help Afghanistan, and to try to treat their pain, right? And all this was coming, and then plane start moving, right? And then it was exactly like a person who dies, right?
Okay.
I saw a kind of like article about this,
Okay.
that whenever people dies, first of all memories of the life come to their mind, and
Right.
their brain got really active. And I
Right.
had the same feeling,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And when the plane just took off and the tire kind of disconnected from Kabul's
Runway.
land,
Yeah.
I start crying so loud. I
Right.
covered my face and I cried
Right.
really fast. And I was just watching everything in front of me, you know?
Right.
The time that I get inside Kabul, the moment that I arrived to Kabul, right? The
Right.
moment that I got married with my ex,
Right.
the moment that I got Pulitzer Prize in New York,
Right.
the moment that I got my prizes from WordPress, the moment that I was going to universities and schools around the world
Right.
and try to be a voice, the
Right.
moment that we make the first ever concert for only girls to have
Right.
their own happiness,
Right.
the moment that the first time the American university was opened, the moment that my brothers actually married, the moment that I lost Sardar, the moment that I lost Marai, all of this moment was coming to my in front of me, and
Right.
it was so difficult when like I saw that I'm just looking at the Kabul from the air for the last time. Anyway, after like several hours, we landed in Istanbul for our
Okay.
connection flight, and because the first flight was a little bit late, we had to run to the next one to
Right.
catch the next one
Oh,
to
I've been
go
in
to
that
Amsterdam.
situation.
And in this moment that me and Len were trying to run and get the second plane, I was, successful to connect my mobile to, internet and open the Facebook really fast. And the first sentence and the first news which I saw in my Facebook just came that for the first time I was not first to write down that, and I didn't tell and I didn't inform people about it, was Kabul is fallen,
Right.
and Kabul and Taliban are inside the Kabul
Right.
city. And that was really hard.
I'm sure.
So
Even though you knew it was coming, it still had to
yeah.
be hard.
Yeah, well, I broke a lot of, big news, in Afghanistan,
Right.
and everybody were waiting for me
Right.
to write them, and a lot of people could trusted me
Right.
and believed the news if I just tell them, right?
Right.
And that time I was absent for those people,
I understand.
and it was painful. It was really hard,
Right.
right? Yeah, and then when I arrived to Amsterdam, I felt so tired.
Oh, without you had to be. You had to be wore out. You had to be exhausted.
And I felt like a big tree, right,
Right.
that is being unrooted from the earth with all pain and doesn't know when will be landed and will can just start another life, right?
Right. Right.
And it was horrible time. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I lost everything.
Exactly.
I lost all of my arts, books, journals that I wrote, like
Right.
the movies that I kept,
Right.
like all the gifts that I had from everywhere, from
Yep.
44 countries.
Right.
And I lost all of them,
Right.
right?
And you left
And
family
then,
and friends behind.
exactly, I
Yep.
left, family behind. I left my goddaughter behind. I
Right.
left my ex that I loved her behind, and all that, And I really, really, kind of had bad feeling about myself. I felt that I'm so selfish. But I said, okay, probably this is my last mission, that I
Right.
just try to tell the story of the collapse
Yes.
and what happened. And maybe this is the reason that I'm still alive. And I start interviewing with a lot of, TV's people, newspapers around the world, just trying to tell them that what's going on
Right.
and what will happen.
Right.
Right. And in one of the BBC live interview, I and my friend who was an anchor on that, news program, we
Right.
both cried.
I'm sure.
Right. And that was the only thing to show that how much pain we feel and what was our feeling about like our birthplace to be handed over again to the darkness,
Right.
to the terrorists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was really upset and ashamed of myself that I've been only a toy for the idea of the fighting against terrorism or whatever,
Right.
right? Imagine that if I never tried to cover war in Afghanistan for AFP or AP or
Right.
whatever,
Right.
I would never be threatened by anyone and I could stay in Afghanistan, in Kabul. I could just probably go and make a bakery shop and bake bread for people, right?
Right. Right.
Now I'm thousands miles away
I get it.
from my life subjects, from the place that I promised them that I will do everything for them, even if
Right.
I lose my life.
Right.
So practically, I think that I'm not alive anymore out of Afghanistan. I try to, work. I try
Right.
to, help. I
Right.
try to send money for some orphan girls to study online.
Right.
I try to help some of the wounded journalists who are still in Afghanistan, right? But still, I feel that I'm not doing anything and I'm away from whatever I was meaning for my life.
I understand what you're saying, Massoud, but I want you to know that there are some of us that are very grateful for you and what you've done. You're a good man. You've done a lot of great things for the Afghan people. You may not feel like it, but you have. And I truly, truly mean this when I say this, that I hope that you are getting the help that you need for your PTSD, because I know that you have to have it. For everything that you've been through, for everything that you've seen, that you've been a part of, there's no way that you can make me believe that you don't suffer from PTSD.
Yeah.
And I really, really mean is that I hope that you are getting the help, because
Yeah, I hope that too.
I told you before, and I'm going to tell you again, and I mean it. You got a friend for life right here. And I thoroughly enjoyed the weekend that I got to spend with you and
Me too.
getting to know you, and keep your chin up. And,
Thank you.
hopefully someday, I don't know when it'll be, but hopefully someday, I hope that you're able to go back to your homeland.
Yes, I do the same. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So with that, we'll go ahead and end this interview. And I want you to sit back, get you another cup of coffee and relax, and just take some deep breaths and know that you got friends here.
Thank you very much. I hope
Okay.
good luck. And I hope that everybody have time to listen to my, stories.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I just wanted to tell them that there was a 1% of people in Afghanistan, including me, that we tried for a lot for freedom
Right.
and we tried a lot to fight with terrorism,
Right.
but politics failed us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You'll not get an argument on me on that subject. I
Yeah.
mean, the people that should have been there for you, like us, the U.S., we turned our back on you. And that, to me, that's unacceptable.
Well, I think that I just don't say this from the people's account, but
Right.
politician did, yes.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I meant. Okay. And
Yeah.
I will apologize to you for that, even though it wasn't my decision. When it happened, it made me very angry. I'll let you know that. So, my friend,
Understand.
I wish you all the luck in the world and all the best. And like I said, I hope you're getting the help that you need. And if you ever need anything from me, you know how to get a hold of me.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
It's 2010. It's approximately 18:30 in the evening here at Forward Operating Base Forest. Please tell me your name and your rank, sir.
My name's Corporal Jimmy Robinson.
Congratulations, you just got promoted here. First time being promoted away from the States?
No, I got promoted to PFC during my first deployment.
So this is your second deployment, is that right?
Actually, my third.
Your third. You're one in Afghanistan?
Yeah, I've done 2 in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan.
All right, tell me, what's your job?
My job, I'm a fire team leader, Alpha team leader under Sergeant Riley.
And how old are you, sir?
27.
How long have you been in the Army?
I've been in a little bit over 5 years.
Where do you hail from?
Originally from Cincinnati, Ohio.
home of the Bengals, is that right?
That's right.
I was speaking with Sergeant Riley earlier, and he spoke quite highly of you. You guys look like you have a really tight group here.
Yeah, it's we're all really close. We're all pretty good friends across the board.
You have family back home?
Yeah, I've got a wife and 2 kids back at Fort Campbell.
Congratulations, and their names?
Thank you. My wife's name's Kate, and my oldest daughter is Emily, and youngest is Tori.
Anything you want to say to them?
I love you guys. I miss you.
Very good. Corporal Robinson, congratulations on your promotion.
All right, thank you very much.
And be safe out here.
I'll try.
It's Jim Spree, August 15th, 2010, at the promotion of Corporal Robinson. Corporal, what's your first name again?
It's Jimmy.
Jimmy. That's an easy name to remember. My name's Jim.
It works, huh?
All right, roger that, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Congratulations.